Congratulations on your vacation to India. Let's make this a joyful and relaxing time for you and your family. Upon landing in India, simply stretch out and get ready for all the great food and to reconnect with all the amazing things that you've loved about India ever since your childhood. Vacations to India last for a few short weeks, so you need to make the best use of the time that you have in India. So here is the top 10 checklist for your Indian vacation. Number 1, get over the jet lag. Number 2, visit relatives and friends. Number 3, attend any weddings. Number 4, take care of your parents. Number 5, open NRI bank accounts for yourself. Number 6, do some shopping. Number 7, get an Ayurvedic massage or attend some yoga classes. Number 8, do a health checkup and a dental checkup for yourself and family. Number 9, eat at your favorite restaurants. And number 10, simply visit temples and monuments to reconnect with the Indian culture and Indian ethos. Okay, so in addition to this, you might want to do some optional things. Perhaps you want to invest in Indian real estate, or you might want to get yourself a full life insurance from LIC. That's something you might want to do. Maybe you want to visit an astrologer. That's another optional thing you might want to do in India. Maybe renew your driver's license. So these are all some additional things that you might want to do. Okay, so as soon as you land in India, the first thing that really hits you is the jet lag because of the time zone differences. So if you have this, if you're unable to adjust to the Indian days and nights, the best thing you can do is get yourself some sleeping, or melatonin pills. These are just mild herbal pills that help you to sleep. So it regulates your sleep cycles. So just take 1 or 2 tablets for maybe about a couple of days in India during the night before you sleep. And then that will help you to really adjust to the Indian nights to get a full night's rest and then wake up fresh the next morning. And you can get these pills anywhere. These are just over-the-counter medicines. You can get them in any pharmacy in India, and abroad you can get them in places like Walmart and a lot of these Rite Aid and Walgreens and so on. So get these melatonin pills. Another thing is just get into the Indian, once you land in India, supposing it's daytime, just go out a little bit into the sun. Don't just go into your room and then try to take a nap. Just go out into the sun for a little bit, because once you get into the sun, it will energize you and it will help you to get adjusted to the Indian days and nights. So that's a nice thing to do. So once you're over the jet lag, you definitely want to meet all your relatives and your old friends, and just visit familiar places that you knew. So do all of that, and by chance, and or if you can plan it out this way and you can attend some weddings during this time, it's great, because weddings is a time when all your favorite people come together for the special occasion. So it's a great time to just meet everyone that you want to meet in one place, and to add to that you have all the ambience and the great food that makes it even more fun. So that's something you might want to do. And of course, one thing is, once you've been abroad for a few years, your parents would have missed you a lot. So just take care of your parents. Maybe take them to some favorite restaurants, buy them some new clothes, spend some time with them. Just talking helps a lot, actually. Just be with your parents, hold their hand, talk to them, and also check on their health. Maybe you want to go for their doctor's visit and just ensure that they're in good health. Take them for their checkups, and then buy them the medicines that they need. You could do that, and then just make sure that they have everything they need, and even financially that they're well taken care of for the next few years. Another thing you might want to do is maybe upgrade some of their appliances, like sometimes washing machine needs an upgrade. And how about the computer with which you do video chats with them? You might want to upgrade your parents' computer so that you can do better video chats. You get a new webcam, or I mean, nowadays with laptops, you don't need all that, but you might want. That's something to look at. And maybe their RO filter, their TV, because older parents sometimes they do need the TV for entertainment, so you might want to upgrade the TV. So we're just making a few changes like that at home can actually help your parents to feel better and to have a more comfortable stay. So once you've done that, another thing is for your financially, you might want to open some NRI bank accounts if you don't have them already. You can open an NRE account and an NRO account. So, so NRE account is basically for holding your, I mean, it can be used for international transactions, and NRO is simply a rupee account that you use locally. And so, if you already have an Indian savings account before you left India, then all you can do is you can convert that savings account to an NRO account and simply open a new NRE account. And if you want more information on good banks for NRIs, then you can take a look at my article on desimomhacks.com about the review of the best banks in India for NRIs. And then other than this, of course, you do want to do some shopping, right? Once you're in India, there's so many things that are more affordable and some things you can find only in India. So you want to do your shopping. So for shopping, of course, some things that really come to mind. You might want to buy books because books are much more affordable, and you get a very real good. You can buy those Eastern edition books if you want some technical or business books. You can buy those Eastern edition books at some of the favorite bookstores. Depending on which city you live in, you can just go to some nice bookstores. You can buy some technical business books. Maybe you want to buy some religious books, that you can do. And then maybe some yoga books. And also, how about books for your kids, like some Amar Chitra Kathas or some nice books just to help your children to be a part of their Indian culture. So you could buy some books for them. How about some books in your native Indian languages? You can get those. So that's could be on your shopping list. Another one is, I mean, medicines they are available everywhere abroad, but then sometimes it's a lot more affordable in India. So you might want to get all these general over-the-counter things like pain, fever medicines, cold medicines. Just have a supply of those and keep them packed up so you can take them with you. And another thing you can buy abroad is how about some utensils? Maybe you want some idli plates or some tawa, things that, I mean, you do get some of them abroad, but you get them more customized and for a better price in India. So you might want to get some different utensils which are very Indian specific, like maybe a small pressure cooker, a small mixie or something. I mean, mixies you get blenders everywhere abroad, but sometimes you want a more traditional one which really does the job, because Indians, we do a lot of this grinding of all our spices, and we like our food to have all the tastes ground up, and I mean to the ruchi to actually come together. So you might want to get that. And then maybe you want to get some puja items like kumkum, vibhuti, sandalwood. I mean, all those different. We have those traditional, those threads, and then vatti for the lamps. You might want to buy some silver lamps in India. That's another thing. Maybe you want to buy a little bit of Indian jewelry, Indian designs. You could do that. So these are some things. And then how about cosmetics? You might want, because you have all these Himalaya and Shri Shri cosmetics. They are more herbal, Ayurvedic type of cosmetics. You might want to buy those. You can check out one of those Himalaya places, Himalaya shops, or Shri Shri is also quite good. And also you can get some Ayurvedic tonics and syrups and so on. So these are, and anything else that you think. And how about traditional clothes and footwear? That's another very important one. Traditional clothes and footwear, you hardly find enough variety abroad, even if you do find them. So just get whatever you need for your Indian get-togethers. Just get all your traditional clothes and footwear and accessories. Get them. Just make that part of your shopping for your Indian vacation. Okay, so now that you've done your shopping, maybe you want to relax a little bit, and just it's been a tough travel. You worked hard abroad. You're taking a vacation. Maybe a nice Ayurvedic massage is a good thing to have. This is not something a lot of people think of, but then it's actually quite nice because when you go to all these five-star restaurants, no, or when you go to all these five-star hotels in India, they have these. Spa and section, which where you have all these Ayurvedic doctors. They can tell you what treatment would be good for you. They use some Ayurvedic oils and scents, and it's really nice. You could get yourself a nice Ayurvedic massage, and if you're open to it, it's a very nice thing to do. These are Kerala style massages, and it's done very traditionally, and they're separate ones for men and women as well. So you might want to get yourself an Ayurvedic massage. So that's another thing you could get. And then, that's one thing you could do. Otherwise, you can also go to some yoga classes and things like that. If that's your way of just relaxing and feeling fit. And another thing is medical facilities are very much there abroad, but in India, medical facilities are quite. It's really good. You have a lot of good doctors in the hospitals, so you might want to just do a regular health checkup and maybe a dental checkup. Just get some tooth cleaning, fillings, whatever, because it's a lot more affordable in India, and quality is quite good. So that's something. And then if you do get a health checkup and then they prescribe some medicines, just carry enough of supply of those medicines with you, and make sure you have some alternative medicines that you can buy abroad when these medicines get over. So things like that. And so for your favorite food, though your mom makes all your most delicious dishes, you might still want to have some nice additional items and additional delicacies you might want to eat. So you just go to some of your favorite restaurants, and if you are not sure which ones to go to, ask for recommendations of good restaurants from your friends and family. So one thing to be careful about is with your food and water, just be a little bit careful when you're in India, and just go only with well recommended and really hygienic eating joints and restaurants in India. And those sometimes it can be very tempting. Just try to keep away from these street vendors, because after being abroad, we generally do not have the kind of immunity to a lot of the local things. So it's best to just stick with my well-known and recommended restaurants. And for your water also, just take boiled water from home when you go, or have boiled water at home and carry them in bottles, or just buy one of these Aquafina, Bisleri or Kinley, sorry. So buy this Bisleri, Aquafina or Kinley water, which are nicely sealed. Buy those for your water. And that should take care of, just make sure that you stay healthy and really enjoy your vacation, and then go back abroad in good health. So that's one thing. And then of course you might want to visit once you're in India. Also, it's good to connect with your own Indian culture. So you might want to visit temples and monuments in India. No matter where you live, within a few 1 hour's drive or something, you're definitely going to have some nice places to. It could be parks, or it could be just some monuments, or some ancient temples in India, or other places of worship. So you just reconnect with your Indian culture, and just visit some monuments. That might be some really nice thing to do. And another thing is, when you visit your relatives and friends, one thing I wanted to mention is, because sometimes you might have to visit all the people that you want to meet, you might have to travel quite a bit. So to avoid that, what you could do is, once you get to your home in India, or even before, once you plan your vacation, just call up some of your favorite cousins, uncles, and then tell them when you're going to be in India, and ask them if they can come to your home in India so that you can all come together. So that way you really get to meet all the people and you don't miss out on some favorite people that you're looking forward to meeting. And so this is the top 10 checklist. And then apart from this, you might have some optional things. Maybe you want to invest in Indian real estate. Maybe you want to have a house for your parents, or just a rental. You want to maintain a rental property in India, or you want to keep a house, let it be rented later on. Maybe if you move to India, you might want to use it. Or so for any of, if you want to invest in Indian real estate, just ask for some recommendations of good local broker, real estate broker, or find one yourself. With, I mean, in Chennai we have this Hanu Reddy, or you might have in every city there are different good real estate companies, and you can find good brokers, or you could go with recommendations from friends and relatives. And that's one you might want to do. Maybe you want to visit, how about an astrologer? You might want to meet, and suppose you have some little concerns that you want to take care of, or just some questions, or some you need a little bit of guidance. You could visit an Indian Vedic astrologer. One thing to make sure is, if you are planning to visit an astrologer in India, just make sure to do it a little bit ahead, early on in the vacation, because some of them, they will ask you, once you meet them, they might ask you to do some parihara, maybe go visit some temples or do some things, and before, do some things just for your own success and so on. So you might want to give yourself enough time to be able to do those things. So just visit them instead of going to the astrologer in the last few days of your vacation. Just do it a little bit ahead of time. And then another thing, a lot of people don't think about is, maybe you want to invest in Indian, take a full life insurance, because abroad you get all these term life insurance for 3 years and 5 years and so on. But getting a full life insurance is not, definitely turns out to be a lot expensive abroad. And if you want a full life insurance, and maybe depending on how long you're planning to live abroad, and also even if you are a permanent resident abroad, still it's nice to have an Indian, as a person of Indian origin, as an NRI, it's nice to have a good full life insurance. And they are much more affordable. You can go to a place like LIC. And the other advantage of a full life insurance is, in India, when you pay those premiums for a certain number of years, after that you also get a yearly payout, sometimes even more than one time a year. You get yearly payouts from your insurance. So it's a nice financial planning for your older years, because once you, after a certain number of years, when you get yearly payouts for your later years, you will actually have some income coming in from that. And also, once the insurance, the term is it might be for a certain number of years. Finally, when the insurance is complete, in the end of it, you get a large amount, which could be really helpful for your older years. So you might want to go for a full life insurance. And some other simple things, you might want to renew your driver's license. If you have already had an Indian driver's license, you could renew that. Go to an RTO office, and if you need more information on that, you can take a look at desimomhacks.com. There's an article on how to renew your Indian driver's license for an NRI. It's quite simple. There are a lot of online things as well, but it helps to be in India too, and to actually go to an RTO office. These, and another thing is, by chance at some point, if you're able to be in India for more than 180 days, you are eligible for, as an NRI, you're still eligible for an Aadhaar card. So you could get yourself an Aadhaar card if that applies to you. And another thing, because a lot of local Aadhaar centers may not be very familiar with how to get for Aadhaar for NRIs, because your documents and your IDs will be different. In that case, simply go to the main Aadhaar center for your city or district. So generally the main center, they are quite familiar with all the different forms of IDs, and so if you do want to get that. So, on the whole, just enjoy your nice Indian vacation and have a good time. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see you in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. And if you really like this video, then please do like, share, and subscribe. And for any, if you want any more information on similar topics, you could always take a look at desimamax.com.